tonight.
You'll get it.
But we're going to go to 9:30 tonight, where we're doing something a little bit different. So we'll be on to 9:30, so just stay tuned. After 9 o'clock, we'll still be here. We might take a break then, but we'll be back. We'll try to stay on to 9:30, and we welcome your calls. If you'd like to call in, we appreciate that. Matt Hagan, he is not here tonight. He's on assignment. He is in Gainesville, Florida. Did you know he was a Florida fan too?
No, I didn't know that, but good for him.
So now I got to work with 2 Florida fans.
Well, go Gators. Get used to hearing that.
We got you in December this year, though.
Well,
you know what happened last time we played you in December, don't you?
Well, yeah, but we had Sexy Rexy that game, so he had to go out with a dud, about like his NFL career.
Yeah, and you have to come to Knoxville, so it's going to be cold up here. So your luck, it'll probably be 70 degrees and a nice December day.
Both teams will be playing in the same conditions. That's the way I feel about it.
Just throw it out the window, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if it's cold, it's cold. If it's snowing, it's snowing.
And reptiles can't play in that cold.
Yeah, but them volunteers can't outrun them reptiles in the water, so maybe it'll rain.
Volunteers cracked the top 25 in the AP poll, come out first time in 3 years. The Big Orange in the top 25. I believe Florida, where they come in at?
Number 8.
Is that high?
Number 8.
You sure about that?
According to the poll I look at, they're number 8. Tennessee was 25. Georgia was LSU 3, Georgia 4.
I guess in Auburn 11, A&M 13.
SEC's loaded up the top 25.
Yes, normally is. Normally.
That's why it's the best conference in America.
So we got a good show lined up here tonight. Coming up after the first break, we're going to visit with the Rockwood Tigers, fresh off an exciting 36-35 overtime win over Midway.
Man, what a dogfight. I mean, go into overtime and have the guts to go for 2. That's on the road.
That's it right there, the guts to go for 2. Coach Webb.
I mean, it takes some guts, man, in that situation to be like, look, guys, what do y'all want to do? We're going to win it here, or are we going to play for another overtime? And on the road, going for 2, it's gutsy, man.
Yeah. I heard the players came over after they scored to cut it to 1, and they pretty much asked the coach or told him, so we want to go for it. So he said he trusted his team, and they went out and went for 2, and they made it. At Midway.
And that's on the road, though. You don't want to extend it out any more than you have to. If you're at home, play for that other overtime. But
right,
if you're on the road, you want to get out of there if you can. And in a situation like that, I know it's not really, Midway's not what I would consider a hostile environment. But, you know, if that was say it was at Greenback or something like that, where you're surrounded, that's one of those don't even take your helmets off and get on the bus, let's get out of here deals, you know. Because I'd say the crowd got a little hostile after that one.
We'll visit. We got 4 young men from Rockwood want to be with us here after the break. Got Jack Alexander, Octavius Worthy, Gavin Evans, and Jackson Kelly. So we're glad they came up here, and we're going to talk with them. And, you know, they got a big game this Friday night, the OEB Game of the Week. It's Sweetwater at Rockwood. And that's really going to be a good game. That's this Friday night at 7:30, so you want to tune in to that.
There have been some classics in that series.
Right, that series is Sweetwater actually leads it 15-14 overall, so this will be the 30th meeting between the Wildcats and the Tigers.
That's crazy that, you know, the series is that tight. Didn't they play to a 1-point game last year? 13-12, wasn't it?
You're right, 13-12 last year. Sweetwater winning that game.
Should be a
so I know
competitive game.
I know Gavin Evans, he's chomping at the bit for a little payback for the Wildcats.
Those Tigers would be fired up to get some payback, I'm sure.
Rockwood?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I said. Gavin over.
I didn't know they were Wildcats.
No, they're Tigers.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time, man.
Did I say Wildcat?
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, I ain't afraid to call you out.
Let me know, yeah.
I'm going to win me an award before it's over with.
You need to call, get your wife, or not your wife, but your girlfriend, run down to the market there and bring that Code Red up there. I'm going to need it.
See, you ain't afraid to call me out neither, are you?
No, but there's breaking news out of high school this week, or just today, breaking news. Kingston High School, Roane County High, has had to postpone their next 2 games due to the COVID virus. From the official word I got, the AD came out and said they were going to just follow the TSSAA guidelines.
Well, they got Oliver Springs this week, or did have. Who would they have had the following week? I haven't looked to see.
They've got Austin East. They got a region game.
So
it's a home game. I think Austin East coming in.
So what do you don't get a win for that Austin East game.
Austin East
gets a win,
yeah.
But Kingston does not get a loss. Is that the way that works?
Right.
And that game will not be made up at a later date.
I do not think so.
It's a shame.
But maybe, Kingston, last week we saw Carnes. They announced they weren't going to be able to play 2 games, and then Saturday they reversed it. They'll be able to play this Friday against Halls. So I heard they had some false positive tests at Carnes, so they're getting to play this week. So maybe that'll happen with the Yellow Jackets.
So I just hope this doesn't turn out like it could, because there could legitimately be a 3-win team that's only played 5 games hosting a playoff game in the first round.
It's possible.
I mean, that's just unbelievable. Well,
if you win your region game, it's that'll be the key.
That's all that matters is the region games.
Right.
Nothing else matters.
Let's say Kingston ends up, if they win 3 games, just say they go 3-0, and then Alcoa's, well, they'd have to play each other, but say something happened there where Alcoa couldn't play, and Alcoa's 4-0, Kingston's 4-0. Who goes then? Who's the winner?
Whoever's got the most region wins, apparently.
I mean, if they both got the same wins and they don't play each other.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how that would break down. It's all convoluted.
It'll be an overall record.
And there's a possibility that the overall record could be 4-0.
Well, that's true too.
I mean, say you play 2 weeks and you're off 2 weeks, and you play 2 weeks and you're off 2 weeks, and here comes the playoffs, and you played 4 games, but you won 4 region games. You're the region champ, but you only played those 4 games.
I believe that's going to happen throughout the season. It's like every week we've had teams fall victim. We had Bearden. They're still sitting out. This week it's Kingston. There's just teams all across the state. I believe in Shelby, Davidson County, I don't think they're going to play football this year. I heard they was just canceling it. They're not going to play in Davidson in the Metro Nashville.
Now, there was another team did that, wasn't there? Besides Davidson County.
I know Shelby County.
Was that what it was last week?
Shelby hasn't started playing yet, and they have formed a committee to possibly drop out of TSSAA.
Well,
they're looking into that. They're citing the way the TSSAA has handled the COVID-19 virus and also some other things. I saw today where Bernard Childress, the president of TSSAA, he sent a letter to I think it was the superintendent of the Shelby County Schools, pretty much give him a what for in his reply to them wanting to possibly drop out of the TSSAA. He didn't really like. He addressed the COVID situation, but Shelby County was also implying due to some inequities and some of the disadvantages for the black students that they were not receiving from TWSAA. So he didn't really address that, but he sort of made it sound like there's no truth to that, you know. So I like Bernard Childress' reply to Shelby County. Of course, they are the largest school district in the state.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Out of Memphis,
Out of
West Tennessee, yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew Memphis was big in the football side of it, but I didn't realize they were the largest. Now, is it the highest populated, or is it the biggest?
I think it's
region?
just probably the most schools.
I got you.
The largest.
So you're talking about having schools, big schools, 5, 6A schools stacked on top of each other in Memphis, like we got Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, and Harriman and Kingston right here on top of each other in this Roane County region. You're talking about having an Oak Ridge, a Maryville, a Dobbins Bend, and a Bearden in that same area down there. That much more highly populated.
I would say so. You know, they probably have schools of 6A all the way down to 1A. It's the largest. I don't know who the second largest is. Possibly could be Davidson County and Nashville.
Well, Nashville's growing like a weed.
And you got Knox County.
It won't be long. Nashville, Murfreesboro will be one hub. I mean, they're almost together now.
Right. We got a call. Take our first call. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the locker room chat.
What's going on tonight, guys?
Hey, Queener.
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, Queen Bee?
Hey, I just heard your comment there about Shelbyville. You know, some TW, and I'm not a fan of TWSAA, so don't get me wrong about what I'm fixing to say. You know, a lot of those things TWSAA's done are not the law; it's just recommendations. So, you know, you as a school, you can abide by those recommendations, or you abide by whatever your county does.
Right, there's forming a committee to look into possibly dropping out of TWSAA.
Well, then, I understand that, but then, you know, if you want to compete for a football championship or basketball or any sport, I mean, you're probably not going to get enough teams, not that you just do your whole area and you take that section of the state out. I mean, you're not going to have a legit. It won't be legit. In my book, it won't be anyway. I mean, that'd be great to take them out for basketball and stuff like that, because they're powerhouses in basketball. Not as much in football as they are basketball, but there's some powerhouse teams down there in basketball.
Right.
Well, I almost look at go ahead.
I mean, I don't understand why they'd want it don't make any sense unless they want to do their own thing, and to me, they whatever.
Right. It really don't make any sense. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do if they drop out. Unless they're hoping everybody else will fall in line, but I sort of doubt that.
Well, I mean, you could fall in line, and then I would think when you start putting every school across the state together and letting everybody have a spoke, you're still going to wind up in the same situation that we're in today. Because that's the problem today. You can't get how many's on the board of control to all agree to one. You know, I was really shocked we went to 4 in basketball, to have 4 championships now in basketball. I was also shocked we didn't cut a class out in football. The talk all year last year was we're going to go back to 5 classes, and we stay at 6. You know, none of it. I think what we'll see in basketball, we're going to see it watered down a little bit.
Well, I can't be with you enough on that. I thought for sure they'd break the football down to 5, because I am 100% against any team with a losing record going to any kind of playoff, period.
Well, and you know, I heard you say a while ago about, you know, a team could only play 3 games, be 3-0, maybe another team's 4-0. Well, if there's a 4-3, then the team with 4 wins would go. But still, yes, that team with just 3 wins could go. And there has been some instances in the past where there's been a couple of teams go to the playoffs that only have one win.
One win. One win.
Yeah, one win up in the upper. So I think it's upper East Tennessee somewhere. That region was a small region where everybody qualified.
Wasn't that Unaka, North Green?
Yeah.
That region up there.
Yeah, that group up there. I mean,
every one of them.
So, see, the talk was last year we were going to go to five on the public side, and they were cutting one out on the private side. I don't know what they're cutting out on the private side. I can't tell you. But that was supposed to be the talk. But, it's apparent. So, once again, you see what the difference is. Can you imagine? Just imagine for this minute, guys. Every school across the state having a spokesman and all of them trying to agree. Where now you've got one person that might represent your area. Jody Wright represents this area right through here. I don't know how far it goes and how many schools he's got, but he's the spokesman for this area. So can you imagine having them all the way from the east end to the west end? That's not going to work.
Right, that's you hear talk about the NCAA. They're wanting to get rid of that, but the TSSAA, it's the first I've heard of maybe breaking away from that. So it's interesting. I'm like you, though. I don't know what they're going to do. And as far as calling it a legit state championship, I hadn't thought of that, but I don't guess you could if all the teams are not competing.
That's true. Well, on the NCAA and football,
exactly
the Power Fives rule the roost anyway, guys. Y'all know that, or I think you know that anyway. The Power Five could probably break away, but I don't know if that'd be. I don't know if that would be the right thing to do. I don't have any idea. But here's what it's come down to, guys. It's come down to dollars. That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line. And they want to talk about safety, but it ain't got nothing to do with safety. If it did, there would be an eastern quarter, north and south, a central, and a western. And, all these teams, Oliver Springs, Harriman, Rockwood, Kingston, Oneida, Sunbright, and Oakdale could play and not have to travel over 50 miles any week of the year. And that's a good region. Take 2 teams out of that region. And then have your brackets set up regionally before anybody has to really start traveling to Central and West Tennessee.
And you're right on, and we've talked a lot about that, but that's something they've talked about, cutting travel down, but then they don't do it. So, we could spend your whole show tonight probably talking about this, but you talking about the Sweetwater Rockwood game. I've called a couple of them, and man, they're good ball games. Rockwood will be a wild place Friday night. And Coach Webb is a fine man, and I like him a lot, have a lot of respect. He turns out some good football players there.
Right, this is his 25th year at Rockwood.
Yeah, I give him a hard time. He doesn't like to throw the ball a lot. He's a running guy, but I understand he might be throwing it a little bit more this year than he even has in the past. So I always give him a hard time. Come on, Coach, throw the ball a little bit. Hey, guys, y'all do a good job. I'll talk at you later.
All right. Thank you, Queener.
Thank you, David. Yeah, they've got a hot-shot quarterback at Rockwood. We heard transferred from Kentucky.
Yeah, they was really high on their new guy. What'd they call him? YW? Is that what they call him?
DY.
DY. There you go, DY.
Dryston Turner. But we'll be back here in a few. We're going to take our first break. We're going to meet these Rockwood Tigers, and you're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-thru for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Subaru, providing exceptional customer service is what we do best, and we've got the awards to prove it. We've been recognized as Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Love Promise Customer Commitment Award, and again this year we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. At Earl Duff Subaru, we're more than just a car lot. We're a retailer you can love and one that gives back to local causes. Check out our reviews and come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
All Outback, Forester, Ascent, Legacy, and Impreza models have available 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Earl Duff Subaru.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat, and we're pleased to be joined here right now by 4 members of the Rockwood Tigers. All of them are seniors, and we welcome them to the show. Thanks for Coach Webb letting us borrow these young men for a little bit. And as we mentioned, a big win last Friday night for Rockwood over Midway.
Going for 2.
An overtime victory. And our first guest, first player is go and introduce yourself.
I'm Gavin Evans. I'm a senior. I play tight end and linebacker.
Well, Gavin, are you a captain?
Yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
How many captains do y'all have? You pick them before the season or for each game?
No, he picks them for the season. He calls out a little number of people, and he lets them know that you got to hold everybody down when times get rough. But I'd say the only reason I'm a captain is because I lead the defense. I'm the one that calls the plays and gets everybody lined up as middle linebacker.
Who are the captains this year for Rockwood?
It's me, Octavius, Jackson, Jaden Hannibal, and Dakota Waldo. He's over the underclass. He's supposed to be in charge of them since he's a sophomore, and he's more close to them than what we are.
Gavin, I know you were all-region selection last year at linebacker. Led the Tigers to the playoffs. Just talk about Friday night, the win over Midway.
Yeah, it was a dogfight. We knew it would be. Midway always plays us close, and we had no pregame experience, no scrimmages, no jamboree. So we knew we were going to be nervous going in. Got a new quarterback, and we were a little off timing on a lot of things, but that's nothing we can't polish up. But it was just a dogfight, but the only thing that matters is we pulled out a win.
And coming off that with no experience coming into the first week, did you have any problems getting lined up good on offense and getting your guys in place on defense when you were on the field calling plays?
It wasn't more of getting people lined up. It was more of getting people in the mindset of, because everybody's yelling, everybody's mad, somebody didn't do something right, and it's more of just getting everybody calm, because we knew what we were supposed to do. I mean, we're a pretty experienced team. So, I mean, we knew our assignments, but it was just more of getting everybody prepared.
Right. And Gavin, as a captain and a leader of the defense, that's where you come. Did you have a hard time getting the defense calmed down and ready, settled in?
No. I mean, we really and truly knew what we had to do, and we knew they were going to throw the ball. We knew their quarterback was going to be an excellent player, and so we didn't really need to calm down. It was just more of we need to buckle down and fight back, because really and truly they were beating us up front. We were missing tackles. So just as the game went on, we got better and better. So that's why I'm excited about this Friday.
And you got Sweetwater coming up, and last year that's got to be a sickening feeling. But to have that hope of, the retribution coming back, how excited are you looking forward to this Friday night?
I'm very excited, because I've never, in my 3 years of high school, now going on 4, I've never been 2-0, and that's our goal. We talked about that as a team this week, and so we're ready to achieve that goal. And Sweetwater's always a dogfight. They throw the ball well. They have a lot of great athletes. They're good up front, but it's just one of those things where we know what we got to do, and we're going to go up there and fight.
All right.
Gavin, what type of defense does Rockwood play?
It's a number of things. Just really and truly depends on the situation. We're mainly a 4-3 defense, but we'll occasionally go 5-2 and a 60 front. Just all depends on the situation and what the offense is doing.
So you play a middle linebacker?
Yes, sir.
Do you play any other sports?
I play basketball and baseball.
Well, you're a 3-sport letterman. That's good.
Yeah. It's a little rough at times.
Do you have any plans you think you'll be able to play at the next level?
No, I'm actually doing a TCAT dual enrollment, so I go to TCAT the start of the day. So hopefully after high school, I'm going to be ready to get to work and start making some money. That's my plan, at least.
Well, that's a good career. Look at those arms on him.
Hey, I'm telling you, he looks like he could go out and play on Friday night. We looked that way one day, didn't we? Gavin, with this Sweetwater team coming in, and you mentioned they throw the ball a lot, just like Midway did a lot, should have a wet track again. So it looks like maybe gained a little of experience, but I'm a firm believer, and I'm not trying to put anybody's field down, but I think you're going to have better turf under you this week if it gets wet.
For sure, and the team knows that, and I think that's why we're so excited, because I think the secondary is ready to redeem themselves from last Friday, and the linebackers did a horrible job with making tackles and getting downhill. So I think we're all just excited about redeeming ourselves, like you said.
Well, speaking of the secondary, we do have another member of the defense here with us if y'all want to swap out.
Yeah, it's his time anyways.
All right.
Another all-region performer from last year, Jack Alexander, running back, and I think last year he led the team in interception.
Yes, sir.
And
just go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Jack Alexander. I play defensive back and running back.
You played defensive back against Midway this past week. Did the field conditions play into the fact that the offense knew where they were going and the defense didn't, into the cutting and the keeping up? Because Midway rocked up some yards through there in the rain. Did that play a factor to go along with the fact that there was no pregame scrimmages and that was the opening game? Do you think that played a factor into last week?
A little bit, but not too much.
You're talking about the preseason with the virus. How'd y'all go about dealing with that?
Just at practice, we'll get in groups to keep ourselves distant from each other and just, get back to work and work hard.
How do you like playing? Tell us a little bit about Coach Webb, how you like playing for him.
I like it very much. He's a good coach. I respect him a lot.
Yes, he's been coaching 25 years. He's got a lot of experience. How is he as a coach? Is he a player's coach, or I know y'all love him? Does he give you tough love, or how's he go about his coaching?
It's a mix of both, pretty much.
Makes it fun and at the same time.
Yeah, he's serious and
right.
Gets things done.
That's a good coach right there. Now what are your plans for the future after you graduate high school?
I'm undecided right now. Like, my goal was to go to the next level, but I'm not so sure about it right now.
Your goal is for what?
Go to the next level, but I'm not sure.
Getting any letters?
No, I did talk to one coach from Emory and Henry College, but he hasn't gotten back to me after we talked.
That's good if you could play and get your education.
Of course.
And there are plenty of schools around here to go get some of that. So I can't let you get out of here without finding out. Now, why you guys call him Pretty Boy? Why they call you Pretty Boy for? I got to know. Are you the Rico Suave of the group?
I guess so. I'll be posting pictures on Instagram. Just call me Pretty Boy.
Well, Jack, we appreciate you coming up tonight. And what do you think about Sweetwater Friday night?
It's going to be a tough game, but I think we're going to work hard this week. We've done good the past 2 days, offense and defensively, and I think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited.
I hope you get another interception and a touchdown.
I hope so.
All right, thank you, Jack.
Okay. We got the Tush Hog in here now.
Get the big man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. We got to raise the screen up to get you in here. Hold up there, Jackson. Wait, we get the camera on. Now we're ready.
I am Jackson Kelly. I play offensive and defensive tackle. That's pretty much it.
Did you have any sacks last week?
No, sir. I only had 1 tackle and maybe 2 assists. More of a eat-up blocks kind of guy.
It's probably double teaming you, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, I bet when you come off the ball, though, on offense, that they ain't looking to run on you. They come right behind you, don't they?
Yes, sir.
You can open up pretty good lane.
Yes, sir.
How do you stack this overtime win that you had last week as far as the dramatics of that win, winning in the fashion that you did, up against some of the bigger other wins in your career at Rockwood?
I'd say it's probably top 5 just because we won in overtime, and it was the players' decision to go out there and do it. We told Coach we have the confidence in our offensive line and our back, so we can go out there and smash them in the mouth and get it done.
You one of the players that spoke up and said, "Let's go for it"?
I believe I was the first one. I don't know if I was, but I think I was. I told Coach, I was like, "We need to go for it. I want to go home. I'm hungry."
I'm hungry. You're something else, buddy.
Where do y'all go after games in Rockwood?
We normally go to the Rockwood Sonic. We stay over until 12 on the weekends.
That was nice, wasn't it? Get that win and go to Sonic, get you a milkshake and cheeseburger.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's sad that you guys don't know nothing about the old Junior's restaurant that used to be down there.
We used to go down there on middle school games.
Man, that place was awesome.
I miss it down there.
Do you play? You played the blind side?
I play both sides. We have somebody that comes in and he'll play blind side for a few sets of plays, but I'm mainly on the left side right now. Yes, sir.
Now, do y'all still? Well, of course y'all still run it. That crazy offense where the ball's going in 5 different directions.
Yes, sir.
At one time.
That's what we like to run, 35, 34, 22, 23.
Now here you got a new quarterback, Dryston Turner,
Yes, sir.
transfer from Kentucky. I know your job is to protect him. I hear he's a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
So
he's a pretty big sophomore, too. He's very strong in the weight room. He's quick as lightning. I don't really have to protect him too much because he can just get out the pocket.
He's a mobile quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Well, Jackson, are you planning on going to play at the next level?
I would like to, but more than likely I probably won't. Probably just going to go to college, get my degree, and then go make some money.
You play any other sports?
I play basketball, surprisingly.
We play for Coach K.
Yes, sir.
You got Sweetwater rolling in Friday night. How do you feel about it?
It'll be a dogfight like it was last Friday, but I think we can go in there and beat them.
Have you seen any film on who you're going to be lined up with?
Yes, sir. I mean, they're not the biggest in the world, but they can get in your way pretty well. They have good technique, but I think we can do it.
Yeah, they beat y'all last year 13-12.
Yes, sir. It was a very close game. We got really heartbroken because we ran a screenplay and we threw an interception. One of our guards got hurt, and that kind of threw us out of whack.
Y'all was driving for the winning score?
Yes, sir.
That's why the ball ain't round in football, because you never know which direction it's going to bounce.
Well, Jackson, appreciate you visiting with us, and good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
And we saved the best for last. So he says. Let us fix the camera here.
Who's up there striking a pose now?
And you got to love the background with the green with the Rockwood Tigers, so we did that just for y'all.
Yeah. I mean.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Octavius Worthy. I play running back and linebacker.
Now, you told us for the show you missed some games last year, and you still made all-region.
I mean, well, we played against Kingston, and I hurt my shoulder, like, second quarter, and then I'm still, like, helping on that. And then at the end of the year, well, my last game was against Wartburg. We came out in halftime, and I hurt my leg, broke my leg. Have 2 plays, 12 screws in it right now, but I'm still in the recovery right now. But I mean, at least I get to play football.
Well, you're a tough young man to recover from that. So you was also all region last year. What positions do you play?
I play running back and linebacker.
Are you inside or outside on the linebacker side?
I'm outside.
Outside.
Y'all got a pretty good stable of running backs. I know Jaden Hannibal, Dakota Waldo, he had a big 63-yard touchdown run last week, and yourself. That's a pretty potent backfield. And I thought you got Jack Alexander.
Well, we have a big, huge setup where if someone gets tired, we can just switch out. I mean, we have a lot of guys. We have Dom, who's basically Jaden Jr., who can do anything too, same thing he can. He's fast, same as Jaden. Then we have Pudge, who's Waldo, bigger. Then we have Derek Houston, who's behind me, who's basically the same size as me. He gets it done as well. I mean, we have a lot of people we can put in if somebody gets tired. It's a great year for us at running back.
It's a good time to play on a team that likes to run the football, because, I mean, that ball's going to get handed off a whole lot at Rockwood.
Yeah, well, the thing is with us, we're a really good running team for a long time, but Coach wants us to throw the ball more, be more effective on the field, and we've been getting it done recently. We've been working more on that, so, I mean, I feel like we'll be a good passing team as well this year.
I know you lost all-region quarterback last year, Nate Brackett. The Dryston Turner's come in. let's talk a little bit about your young quarterback.
Well, D.Y.'s like he's one of my cousins. He came down here from Kentucky. He's a great player. His dad went to D1 college. He was a great player. And he just basically is fast, strong. He can throw the ball well, and he can run if he needs to. We call him Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson type, wow.
Yeah.
That's a high praise.
Uh-huh.
Now, if y'all can get that passing game going like you're wanting to, that's going to bring that effective running game even more. They won't be nobody able to score with you if you get both of them running.
Well, we have the main running backs right now, and one of our sets is me and Waldo. Me and Waldo are really a good duo when they get up the hole. Then we have Jaden who does the sweeps enough. He's really fast. We have Dom who can do the sweeps. We have Owen who can catch basically anything. We call him hands. So he's a really good catcher.
And being a responsible blocker inside on that offense is very important too. Now, how do you stack up in that area, being a blocker coming out of the backfield?
Well, I mean, Coach just wants us to get in people's way. He understands if we can't. I mean, I can and Waldo can, but a small guy, he just wants him to seal them as best as he can. They get it done. I mean, they're really good at blocking just as well as us.
Sleepy, I ain't going to lie to you. I hated playing against that offense more than any offense I ever lined up against in my life because you didn't know where the ball was. A good quarterback and two good running backs, you wouldn't know who had the ball. It was a guessing game at times.
Right. If you run it right, it's
hard to defend.
Exactly. And Rockwood last year went to the playoffs. Had a 5-5 season. This year, Octavius, y'all returned, I think, 8 starters on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
And I know you got a lot bigger expectations. You like to advance further into the playoffs. Do you think y'all can challenge, I think Meigs County, I believe, is in your region.
Yes.
They went to the state finals last year. Do you think you got what it takes to get past Meigs County?
Well, Meigs County, they had a really good quarterback last year. He was a great quarterback, good friend of mine. He left this year. We don't know what that quarterback that is right now, but we feel like he's probably not going to do as good as Swofford did. But I mean, still got to give him respect. They made all that way last year, so they really have a good line, a good running back. But we still got the same players as they do, so I think we'll be fine.
I believe he was the state player of the year as a junior.
Yeah.
So Aaron Swofford.
Yeah.
Is he? Where's he at now?
I think he went to Navy. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a really good player.
Playing football too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, Octavius, do you play any other sports?
I play football, basketball, and baseball.
So 3-sport star like Gavin.
Yeah. I think better at basketball, but baseball, he got it.
So he got you on baseball?
Oh, yeah. Everything else, that's me.
But you got him on basketball, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a good defender. I'm not really a scorer. Coach K puts me in. I'll do the best I can to stop big guys from scoring, but, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what is your plans for the future? You like to play on the next level?
Well, I mean, I think I will. I don't know yet, but Coach talked to me Monday after our game. He thought that I had a bad game, but he said that's probably one of my worst games I had in my career. I'm usually like over 100 yards or something like that, but he feels like if I put my mind to it, I'll do great things in the future.
Well, I tell you, it was exciting to have them in here tonight. This is a fun group of guys that have got me fired up already to see.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
Them square off against Sweetwater Friday night. Seemed like a pretty confident group.
Right, I think they're ready this year to take that next step. You know, last year they were a 500 team, and I expect this year y'all to win more than that. You know, I expect big things out of y'all. And just talk about that 2-point conversion y'all had to win that game against Midway. Midway scores first in overtime. Y'all come right back and score. How did y'all score that touchdown?
Well, the thing is, we were going to go for field goal. Then coach was like, no. We was like, no, we want to go for it.
Extra point.
Yeah. Like they were going to give it to me, but I felt like I wasn't doing good that game, so I was like, don't give it to me. And then Waldo came over the side and said the play that we need to do, and then Jaden got it done, and after that was history.
I was reading was it a double reverse?
Yeah. Actually, Jack is the one that handed the ball off to Jaden.
That's a pretty good play. I bet Jaden, he almost walked in, I bet it.
Yeah, he had to jump for it. I mean, he's fast enough, but...
Did he have to jump to get in the end zone?
Yeah.
Wow, I bet that's really exciting. That's something that Ja will always remember.
Yeah, it really is.
That's one of those that you just don't forget. I mean, that's a lifetime memory that, you know, to get sentimental on y'all a little bit, but I mean, you got to remember these are the memories that you're going to be telling your kids about one of these days. You ain't going to believe the night we was down there at Midway. I'm telling you, and it's cherishable. It really is.
That's high school Friday night lights at its best.
At its best, especially when you can win one, walk off the field like that in victory on the road at somebody else's house. It's good stuff.
We wish you luck next week, Octavius, and thank you for visiting with us. Hope you get a win over Sweetwater. Last year they won by 1 point.
Yeah.
Last week y'all won by 1, so I think the all-time series they lead y'all 15-14, so it's a close series too. So that's the OEB Law Game of the Week. So you want to tune in and watch these Rockwood Tigers if you're not attending the game. Well, thank you for coming in, Octavius.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take our next break, and we'll be back. We're going to look back to some of last week's game. We're going to look ahead as well. So we'll be back in a little bit. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
At Earl F. Subaru, providing exceptional customer service is what we do best, and we've got the awards to prove it. We've been recognized as Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. And again this year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. At Earl F. Subaru, we're more than just a car lot. We're a retailer you can love and one that gives back to local causes. Check out our reviews that come to Earl F. Subaru in Harriman.
All Outback, Forester, Ascent, Legacy, and Impreza models have available 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Earl Duff Subaru.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-thru for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the locker room chat. And it was a great meeting with those Rockwood Tigers.
Great group of guys. They seem like they're really level-headed, well-coached, kind, respectful. Couldn't speak highly of them if I tried.
All right, and they got a big win last Friday. And as we mentioned earlier, the game of the week, Friday night, they're taking on the Sweetwater Wildcats. Rockwood will be at home hosting their home opener.
Now that they're out of here, and I don't want to give them a big hit, I think they'll walk the dog with Sweetwater. I really do.
Right, I'm picking the Rockwood. Last week, Meigs County defeated Sweetwater. I think it was 27-7, so they had a tough game. So really don't know how good Sweetwater is, and they played a tough team. So they semifinals from the state championship last year. Actually went to the finals.
They did go to the finals. Meigs County did. Yeah.
They want to look ahead, look back to last week's games, and of course we're on to 9:30 tonight. So we got an extra 30 minutes. So if you'd like to call in, the phone lines are open. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. Sports related, and we love to talk high school sports. But looking back at some of last week's games, Oakdale defeated Pickett County 41-16. I did not get any stats on that game, but good start for the Eagles. You missed that game.
Are you not just going to let your head swell up? Mr. 9-1 sitting over here beside of me. Mr. 9-1 right here, and I'm Mr. 6-4.
And Matt went 6-4, and still didn't get my Mountain Dew.
Go ahead, caller, you on there.
Who is Anderson County playing tomorrow night?
I think you cut him off.
Oh, I didn't hear nothing.
Anderson County plays
Powell.
That's a very big game. It's a non-region game, but it's a big game across the state.
That has implications involving a lot of other teams out there.
Well, it's not a region game, but I know those two teams.
It's so weird for me to think about it and it not have implications because it's just so weird.
It's a big game, I think, for Anderson County's psyche. That was the only regular season loss they had last year. And so that's, Anderson County, they're definite state contenders. If they could beat Powell, avenge that loss from last year, I'd just give them that much more confidence.
Which they are not lacking in right now after walking the dog on the Clinton Dragons last week.
Yeah, they walked the dog on my Dragons. It's the 21st year that they beat us.
I think I do. Caller, you go ahead and you're on the air.
In a row, but we did win in 2009. But anyway.
There's nobody.
Anybody on the line there?
Yeah, John, it's Matt.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, caller. Who's this?
John, it's Matt.
Oh, it's Matt. Hey, Matt.
Sorry, Matt.
I'm on break at work right now.
Eric's up here Eric's just pushing buttons.
I'm hanging up on people.
Matt, so you talked about the Dragons last week. Anderson County, a big win for the Mavericks, and we was talking about AC and Powell. What do you think about that game, Matt? We'll pick that game later on. That should be a dandy.
Yeah, that will be a dandy. Powell's got both teams have athletes. I've seen both quarterbacks in person, both in gameplay, and I've seen them in private work. In private, not sure which one I would put over the other. Not sure which team I put over the other this year. Because I know last year AC did a great job with Powell holding him, but then Powell pulled away at the end.
Right, fourth quarter, big, huge for Powell. Last year, I think, sort of wore down the Mavericks, but this team this year for Anderson County, I think they'll be more prepared.
Where's that game being played at?
It's a home game.
Game's being played. It's at AC Thursday night.
Yeah, that could be the difference in the ball game right there.
Yeah, it's a Thursday night rivalry game of the week on my VLT.
Yeah, John, are you going to go to that game tomorrow night, or are you going to go to the middle school game and watch the middle school play Robertsville?
I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air. I'm sort of a high school guy, so that's a pretty big game. I might want to take that in, but I know Clinton Middle School home tomorrow night against Robertsville in their season opener.
Yeah, their new head coach, Brandon Ward, is doing a great job. And remember, it's the Clinton and Norwood middle school teams combined to one this year.
Oliver Springs got off to a fast start last night in middle school, winning 28-0.
Was that last night?
Tuesday night, yeah, last night. They played last night.
Who did Oliver Springs play last night?
I don't know if they
Cherokee?
played. They played. I think it was Cherokee. Yeah.
I saw where they defeated Cherokee.
28.
Yeah, and I think that's who they actually played last Thursday, unless it was changed.
Maybe they played Cofield then. I don't know. I know I saw Tyler posted that Cofield or Oliver Springs won 28-0 over the Jackets. It may have been Cofield played last night.
Well, Matt, what's your big take after last week's games, week one?
Clinton's young. We knew Clinton was young. They got a new offense, new defense. They just need to play.
Well, I'm not talking about Clinton. I'm just talking about just as a whole across the area. Anything stand out to you?
This is out of our area, but it does involve teams that play Coalfield. Loudon's dominating win over Greenback.
Oh, yeah, Loudon over Greenback, yes.
Yeah, the shutout over Greenback. When was the last time Greenback was shut out?
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive win. I know Loudon defeated Greenback last year, and this year they just jumped all over them.
Yeah. Like I said, when's the last time we could say that Greenback was shut out?
I know Greenback lost several key players off that team, so I'm not really sure how strong the Cherokees will be this year. So
they lost a load of starters off that team last year.
They just lost a linebacker transferring to Alcoa this year that's going to wait and play again next year.
So Class A, Region 1.
I know this is not surprising, but
it's going to be wide open this year.
Hey, don't forget about Oneida.
Cofield, Yellow Jackets might get in there. And
I think the road to the district championship goes through Oneida.
Yeah, Oneida's not a bad team to watch.
Are they not in that same district, same region?
Oneida is, they are double A.
Oh, they're double A now. That's right. See,
they're in
Cofield plays them.
They're in with Meigs County and Rockwood.
Now, is that not still one of those deals where when you get to the playoffs, teams drop back down? They don't do that at all anymore?
No, they stay in their region.
Okay.
Stay in their classification.
Yeah, it's the top four in each region qualify for the playoffs, and and then it's Region 1, number 1 versus Region 2, number 4, and so on.
Well, then Oliver Springs is looking good this year.
Yeah, Oliver Springs was a big surprise this weekend too, but still, to me, just out of region would be the Loudon dominating Greenback the way they did.
What about the Oak Ridge Wildcats? We haven't mentioned them. Big shutout over Hardin Valley, and they got Dobbins Bennett coming up Friday night here at Blankenship. That's a traditional rivals right there, and what do you think about that game? That's going to be a good one.
Gaddis is he'll be ready for that game. Like last year when they drove all the way to Middle Tennessee. They got the big win over I'm trying to remember who was that team that they beat last year in Middle Tennessee. It was on a rivalry.
Mount Juliet.
Mount Juliet, yeah. They beat Mount Juliet last year. I had a coworker that actually went to school at Mount Juliet. He was on their football team for years. They'll be ready for Dobbins then. It's going to be a close one. Not sure who I picked just yet. I'll send you guys my picks after I get off the phone.
Okay. Yeah, Dobbins Bennett defeated Oak Ridge last year 42-6. So, Oak Ridge don't get beat like that very often. So I'm sure the Wildcats will be fired up Friday night. Right?
It sounds to me like Coach Gaddis has got this Oak Ridge team in a different mindset, because you got to think last year they got beat by Hardin Valley too.
Right.
And I mean the Oak Ridge team that I've read the stats on and I've heard they played exceptional football. If they keep playing like that.
Yeah, they had a dominating performance. Defensively. They held Hardin Valley to 139 yards total offense, and they forced 2 turnovers. Kendall Jackson, junior standout, had 15 carries, 121 yards rushing. Quarterback Mitchell Gibbons, 208 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. So
a lot of players, seems like they did what they wanted to do.
A lot of players stood out for the Wildcats. You had Cole Adams, Preston Turner had 2 touchdown receptions for 150 yards. Jonathan Stewart had a touchdown catch, and also Jaden Williams. So Oak Ridge they're saying they're their best team they've had maybe since the 2005 team that went to the state championship.
That was 2005, yeah. Well, I mean, it's all the potential's there, especially if they can avoid the injury bug. You can get that.
Well, Matt, we got another call. We appreciate you calling in.
All right, see you guys later.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Bring my Mountain Dew next week.
Yeah, you got to earn that one, Sleepy.
You get redemption. I'll have to bring 2 of them. Just hit it.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the locker room chat. Go ahead, caller. Nobody there? I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
What game is that? Wartburg at Harriman has been moved to tomorrow night due to the weather. Here's some of the games. Thank you, Dylan, for doing this. I know there's several games across the state's been moved to Thursday with the hurricane remnants moving in. As you can see there. So the Bulldogs of Wartburg at the Blue Devils. That's one of the games we'll be picking. And you say you never will pick Wartburg, right?
Under no circumstances, especially after the performance I seen at Wartburg last week.
Yeah, you saw that game last week, didn't you?
I did, and I don't know. It's hard.
Talk about that game, Cofield.
It's hard for me to sit here and say, "Oh, Cofield looks so good," when Wartburg couldn't hardly get lined up. I mean, procedure penalties. It wasn't. It was ticky-tack at the end, of course, when the game was out of reach, and you got a few unsportsmanlikes each way, and of course that's going to happen in a rivalry game. But they come out trying to line up in these crazy formations and do all this, and it was trying to watch PlayStation football in high school with somebody that just picked up the remote control for the first time.
How about the quarterback, Cole Hines, a new quarterback at Cofield, had a good game, 11 for 15, 174 yards.
Very efficient.
A couple of touchdown passes.
Yeah, very efficient. He's got a pretty long ball.
What class is he?
Cole, I don't know. Maybe a junior. But
what about Seth Lau? Is he?
Seth's a tush hog.
Is he kin to baseball coach Andy Lau?
Nephew, I believe it is. Yeah.
He's a what? What do you call him?
He's a stud. I mean, he ain't scared to hit the hole. If you need 3 yards, he'll get you 3 yards. And if they're trying to get 3 yards up the middle, he's going to get somebody's head knocked in for him.
That's Seth Lau. Got a 45-yard touchdown pass. He also 5 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown. He also led the team in tackles with 9. Is he a senior?
Seth is a senior this year, yes. And, you know, I'm not one to sit and criticize coaches, but don't in that environment for a kid to carry the ball and get you down there to the 3-yard line and then not get a chance to punch it in, that's just disappointing to me. Of course, I'm biased.
Oneida over Oliver Springs the last week, 14-6 in a defensive struggle.
That tells me that Oliver Springs is better than I thought they were.
I know they lost several key players,
but
Oneida lost several too as well, but they had one stud coming back. Can't think of his name right now.
I know who you're talking about. He plays middle linebacker on that defense. But I was expecting, you know, I was hopeful Oliver Springs would hang close, and they did. But I really thought Oneida was just going to blow them out of the water, and that tells me Oliver Springs isn't going to be as far down as I thought they would be, because, I mean, they lost Boswell last year. That was a huge part of their offense. Quarterback went out. They lost quarterback last year. It's hard to replace your starting tailback and starting quarterback in one season in that small of a classification. But obviously they done something, because they hung in there with them, and by all rights had a chance to win that football game.
Right, they outgained them total yards, 163 for Oliver Springs, 149 Oneida. Turnovers. They had 2 turnovers in the game.
Both of them costly, from what I hear. Sophomore, okay.
Cole Hines, a sophomore quarterback for Coalfield. It's a name to.
It's going to be around for a couple years.
Right. Gavin Hill for Oliver Springs, 13 carries, 79 yards, and the quarterback Zachary Elliott. He had a touchdown run, and Jacob Heileman, I believe I said that correctly, 14 total tackles, 2 for a loss to lead the Bobcats.
That's a heck of a night right there.
And the Bobcats supposed to play Kingston Friday night, but, you know, Kingston's having to cancel, so I don't know if...
Does that play into the advantage of Oliver Springs getting a week's rest? They don't have to get out here and play in the mud.
Unless they pick up another game. You see teams...
well, Coalfield's sitting at the house this week.
But they play at the end of the year.
Move it up. Let's play tomorrow.
Coach Green, you have to give him a call.
Hey, Coach, let's go.
Let's move it up. Let's play it while we can.
Play it while we can before they cancel the season or something crazy happens. Let's line them up, slobber knock them. Hey, speaking of which, I figured something out. The reason me and you ain't getting sick from all this COVID stuff, man, when we was coming up, we made mud pies, and we actually ate them.
Yeah.
So.
It didn't taste very good.
Well, but still, I mean, you see today, think about it. How many kids won't eat nothing but chicken and fries and chicken nuggets, and, I mean, man.
Is mud pies the new vaccine?
Well, it has to do something. I ain't been sick. You ain't been sick. Brad ain't been sick. He's our age. He's eating dirt.
Right.
There you go. See? There's got to be something to it.
Kingston last week went 35-12 over Harriman. It was a game they took over in the second half, and Marcus Rose, 12 carries, 61 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yes. And despite winning 35-12, Kingston had trouble getting out of their own way in the first half.
They did. It was back and forth that game early on. Jadarius Boyd, the Harriman quarterback, that's a player to watch. He had a good game for the Blue Devils. 13 for 27, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, Nick Pelfrey and Thomas Brown and Nasir Stokes have good games for the Blue Devils. Also for Kingston.
How long has that kid been around down there at Harriman? It sounds like we've been hearing his name for.
Which one?
Boyd. seems like they've had a Boyd at quarterback for 10 years down there.
He wasn't quarterback last year. Last year they had Bradley Frost and they had Kylan Love.
Okay.
But
I've just heard that name of Harriman before. Maybe his daddy played ball.
He looked like a pretty good player. He's really a good quarterback. He had some mobility, some speed, could throw, so good multiple threat, dual threat quarterback for the Blue Devils. Also, that game for Kingston, Cooper Webb had 2 interceptions.
The defense, I mean, you gotta hold on to the ball. It'll cost you if you don't.
Also looking on here, players that stood out. They got an offensive lineman for Kingston, Jacob Eskridge. He's 6'4", 250 pounds, just a junior.
Well, you wouldn't want to line up against that guy, would you? That'd be like Tush Hog coming down here from Rockwood earlier tonight.
So Kingston, they're going to be better this year. I just hate that they're having to miss these next 2 weeks. As we mentioned, the game with Oliver Springs, that's a big game, and then the Austin East following week. So
that's horrible that they're not able to play. It's just part of the COVID life of 2020.
And Sunbright, I want to mention them, the other school in Morgan County, defeated Red Bowling Springs 41-6, and they take on Pickett County this week, so they should move to 2-0.
Don't be surprised if Sunbright's better than expected this year.
Right.
I've heard a couple of people mention that they've got some really good skill athletes. They're going to be able to score some points. They may not be able to stop you on defense, but they're going to put some points on the scoreboard.
We don't want to leave Midway out. They lost that close game to Rockwood.
What a heartbreaker.
Emmett Heglin, he returns at quarterback, had a big game for the Green Wave. Had a couple touchdown passes. He hooked up with Jackson Snow for a touchdown pass, and also to Caleb Goodman. So Midway's Ron Treadway, the coach there in his second year, they're going to make another step this year. I don't think they made the playoffs last year. They were upset by Harriman. I look for maybe the Green Wave to get in the playoffs this year.
They're a physical football team, and as history would tell you, but they're slinging it around a little this year. Like you said, they got that good quarterback. He's putting up some yards. Plus, they were playing with a wet ball last week. That makes it a difference too. It can hurt the offense, but it can also. It depends on the quarterback, whether he likes wet ball or dry ball. Hey, let's don't forget Oakdale now. They won.
Well, I didn't have it. They won. I mentioned they won 41-16. I didn't have any.
I got you. Well, just
no coach.
We got some Oakdale folks out there watching.
Coach J.R. Voyles, yeah, had him on earlier in the summer, and he's real excited. He's got several returning players, and they're still a young team, and they got several players back off last year's team, and they're on the way back.
I'm a happy guy right now. Oakdale won.
You didn't pick them.
Sunbright won. Cofield won. Wartburg lost.
Right.
It doesn't get any better than that if you're a Morgan County fan.
Go ahead, caller. Welcome to Locker Room Chat.
Well, how you boys doing?
Hey, it's the boss. How you doing, Brad?
Doing good, Brad.
Good. Hey, I just texted Larry Green, and he said they're going to be playing William Blunt.
Who's that?
Oliver Springs.
Oliver Springs. Will that be a home game?
I didn't get that much from him.
That be at William Blunt?
I'll find out and double check, get back with you on that.
That's good they picked up a game.
Absolutely.
That quickly.
All they had to do was call up Cofield.
Yes, they'll be playing Friday, but I got to find out if it's home.
So that's a big, William Blunt, they're a 6A school.
That is a 6A school.
So that's a big,
He's not shying away from competition, is he?
No, that's a big challenge.
Well, I think they had one that got canceled on them as well.
I think that would have been the Bearden game, wouldn't it?
No.
No.
Might have been Carnes. No, they got to play. I don't know.
Not sure, but
I'm not sure either.
I don't have
that's
this
that's
schedule
great.
pulled
They're
up.
getting to play.
Yep, it is. Let me find out if they're home or not, and I'll text one of you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
Let's talk about Anderson County. Some of their top players last week defeated Clinton 41-6. A Stone Hatmaker he was on the money. 8 out of 10, 195 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Cam Thomas had 2 touchdown receptions, 78 yards. Sophomore Bryson Val also caught a touchdown pass. Sophomore running back Gavin Noe, I'm really high on him. 7 carries, 70 yards, had an 18-yard touchdown run. Jonathan Godwin Miller had a touchdown run as well, and a key play in the game early on, Stone Cummins blocked a punt.
It's a game changer. You block a punt.
He blocked it,
That's a
came
momentum
storming
swing.
in, and Russell Lindsay scooped it up, ran 34 yards, and it was right after that, it's 20-0.
That reminds me a lot of how it played out at Wartburg. They snapped it over the punter's head through the end zone for safety. I mean, those kind of plays just flip the switch on the momentum sometimes.
Right, in Anderson County, they stormed out to 27-0 lead after the first quarter, and at halftime it was 41-6. I believe, I'm not sure what it was at halftime, but Clinton scored. Trace Thackerson scored a touchdown in the third quarter. The Dragons getting their lone score of the game. Thackerson had a good overall game, 6 of 12 passing, and also led the team in rushing, but Anderson County was pretty much dominant in the game and pretty much had their way with the Dragons.
We've heard all year this is going to be the best AC team they've had in a long time, and they sure didn't disappoint Friday night, did they?
No, they sure didn't, and they're a legitimate state title team. And another sport there as well, I wanted to mention the Anderson County volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
They're state contenders as well, and give them some love. They went up to Elizabethton over the weekend and played in the Cyclone Invitational. They won 6 matches, did not drop a set. They are now 9-0 on the year. This is Anderson County volleyball. And last night they swept Hardin Valley in three sets. And then also last week they defeated Oak Ridge, I think 3-2. But this Lady Maverick squad, they might run the table.
They're winning so fast they're hurting the concession sales. People in and out so fast the game's not lasting.
Yeah, that's not good.
You can't eat a bag of popcorn in 3 sets.
Sure, Coach Wade, though, I'm sure she will take the straight wins and get to the house. I think they got Granger coming up next. So
what surprised me was when you said they were playing Farragut, and I hadn't kept up with women with volleyball, but I started checking in that night with that Farragut deal because I thought, man, Anderson County ain't supposed to be competing with Farragut. They whooped them.
Well, Anderson County can compete with anybody in volleyball this
Obviously.
year, and I think the football team as well. It's going to be a big game tomorrow night with Powell. It's a big game for the Mavericks, and
now they got that new turf at Anderson County.
Yeah, they've had it they've had it 3 or 4 years.
Oliver Springs is away. Okay.
Bobcats away. All right, we're going to do something new and fun this year, Dylan. If you want to throw it up there, we got the, we cover Roane, Anderson, and Morgan counties, and we're calling it the RAM Top 6 Poll. We're going to rank these top 6 teams out of these counties: Roane, Anderson, and Morgan. The RAM Tough Top 6, and Brad's working on that to get Dodge to be a sponsor.
Good.
Yeah. So here's our poll we come out with. We'll just tell you it's me and Matt and Eric here. We're voting in this poll. We tried to get Brad. We might have to get Queener and Cox maybe to chime in for next week, but something we're doing for fun. You know, we got a lot of, you know, we got 5A schools and we got a lot of 1As. We got Kingston 3A, AC 4A, so it's sort of hard to judge these teams.
That's pretty much
by
straight
size-wise,
line.
but we're just having a little fun here and hope you enjoy it. But here's our top 6 poll. We had Anderson County on top, close Oak Ridge with 16 points. Anderson County's got 2 first-place votes, and Oak Ridge has 1. So you have to guess who the number 1 vote for the Wildcats was.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. So number 3 coming in is Kingston Yellow Jackets. Your Cofield Yellow Jackets, number 4. And we got a tie for 5th right there. Rockwood and Oliver Springs both with 6 total points. So that's your top 6 Ram Tough poll.
We got time for one more call?
Yes.
All right.
We got another call here before we get our picks.
Go ahead, call. You're on there.
Hey, Sleepy,
Yes, sir.
I want to comment on the Rockwood Tigers.
Okay, go ahead.
They played a Rockwood and Midway. They played a real good football game.
Yeah, that sounded like a real exciting game.
It was back and forth. Both teams played well, and of course, there was a bunch of a bunch of penalties, but they overcome them, and both teams played real well, and they got a tough one coming home Friday night with Sweetwater.
What's your thoughts on that Sweetwater game?
I was down there last year when they should have beat Sweetwater last year, 13-12. It'll be a interesting game if they don't rain. If the weather don't.
Right. Hopefully the weather will stay away.
Yeah. And I want to say one thing.
What's that?
Those boys played their hearts out, and I know there was one person that would have loved that win, and that was my dad.
Right, I was fixing to mention that. We're on with Ed Grief and his father, Maurice Grief, a long-time public address announcer for Rockwood High School. Passed away
almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago, so our hearts go out to you and your family and all the Rockwood Nation. I know everyone missed his voice there, or will miss his voice here this Friday night.
First time in 67 years that he would not have been a game.
Wow. 67 years.
Unbelievable.
That is.
Well, he did it for 50. Did the PA for 57 years, and in the last 10 years, he's still going to the ball games. He still go talk to the boys before they left, and everything else. And he would have been real proud of them Friday night.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was looking down, and he helped call that play.
Yeah.
That's quite a legacy.
And,
he was. I mean, it's just, I went to the game, and it's just, I felt kind of, how I felt, and I'm glad the boys won, and I know he's real happy with them right now.
I'm sure he is, and Maurice used to call in the show quite a bit. I always enjoyed hearing him call in. Ron Berry and David Queener and Maurice would call in. It was just great to hear him.
Yeah, he'd call in. I mean, when the show was when they had the show down at the down in Harriman, at the Harriman office, he'd call in, and I think he'd go down there a couple of times. But the last game he actually attended was because he went to the Harriman game last year, and then he was at the last home game this last season.
Yeah, I saw him on Channel 6 News last year. They interviewed him before one of the games.
But I think, Rockwood's got a chance to, they got to go on. Kingston, like you were saying about Kingston getting 2 games stopped. If things work out right, Kingston's next game will be against Rockwood.
Right.
So, hopefully that'll happen.
Ed, we appreciate you calling in, and hearts go out to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And please call in next week and give us an update on the Rockwood.
I sure will. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We got about 3 minutes in the show. We're going to go ahead and do our picks now, and we'll scratch that Cleveland makeup game. We're going to do Auburn Springs and William Blount. But
don't make me pick against the Bobcats.
Well, you just want to?
No, I'm good. We'll go for it.
You want to do it? You can pick them. Our first game is Powell at AC tomorrow night. Powell won last year 48-36. Give me the Mavericks this year at home.
I'm with you. Give me Anderson County.
And I'm not sure who Matt picked.
He won't text nobody back.
There it is, his pick. He took Powell in this game, so AC Nation, Matt took Powell. So next game, Wartburg at Harriman tomorrow night as well. Give me the Blue Devils.
Give me whoever Wartburg's playing.
And Matt took Harriman as well. Cleveland at Hardin Valley. We'll pick that game too.
All right. I'm going to take Cleveland. Hardin Valley did not impress me at all.
Right, I'll take Cleveland. They only lost to Central by 10 points last week. Our next game is Sweetwater at Rockwood. Give me the Tigers at home.
Give me the Tigers at home.
Matt has Rockwood as well. Jellicoe at Oakdale. Matt has Jellicoe.
I'll take Oakdale.
You going with Oakdale this week? I'm going to go with Jellicoe. They defeated Oakdale last year 39-6. It's the season opener for Jellicoe. The Dragons travel to CAK. CAK won last year 24-14.
The Warriors are going to win again.
CAK went to Daniel Boone last week, won by 2 touchdowns. Unless Clinton improves a lot, but I'm going to take CAK at home.
Take CAK as well.
Matt is taking the Dragons. That's for you, Coach Keith. And
Homer.
Dobbins, Bennett, and Oak Ridge. Matt's got Dobbins, Bennett. Give me the Wildcats.
Give me the Wildcats. I want Oak Ridge.
Carter at Campbell County. Matt has Carter. I, too, will take Carter.
I'll be the oddball and take Campbell County.
Campbell County, big win over Cock last week. Carter played somebody tough. I forget Ray County. Right. Meigs County at Greenback. Give me Meigs to make Greenback 0-2.
Meigs by 4 touchdowns.
Matt has Meigs as well. And their last game, Fulton at Central. Give me the Bobcats.
I'll take Central as well.
And we thank y'all. You want to pick Auburn Spring?
Might as well.
Give me William Blount. I'll go with the bigger school.
Come on, Coach Green. I'm taking the Bobcats. Go to William Blount and get a win.
All right. Thank y'all for watching the Locker Room Chat. Thanks, everyone, for calling in. See you next week.